Welcome to the ACC Championship presented by Allstate. We're staying in Charlottesville. 2 more games tonight at the ACC Championship as North Carolina and Clemson look to advance. Clemson hoping this is the beginning of a chase for back-to-back ACC championships against a team in North Carolina. As you heard, they are desperate. They need wins this weekend. Already a couple results today. Georgia Tech, they set the tone. Speaking of teams who needs to win this weekend, Addison Leshber, a double, a home run. She drove in 5, and it was a dominant win over Notre Dame. And then it was all about the late inning heroics of Madison Pickens for Louisville. The Cardinals look down and out, but they walk it off to take down NC State and set up a matchup of the Cardinal and the Cardinals tomorrow. Stanford and Louisville will be game 2 after Florida State and Georgia Tech. We have 2 tonight and a lot of great matchups coming your way over the next few days. Alongside a 3-time national champion, Jenny Dalton-Hill, I am Chucky Kemp. For North Carolina, it is necessary they follow in the footsteps of Georgia Tech. They need wins this weekend.
They definitely do. Their RPI sits right on the bubble, so a win here tonight could really help them when the committee is looking at postseason selections.
Good part for North Carolina. They've got a star who can change the game with one swing in Emily Leggett.
Leggett leads the ACC in home runs, RBI, and slugging percentage. After hitting just 6 career home runs coming into this season, she has exploded offensively. 26 balls over the wall, 4 in her last 6 games, and she sits in the 3-hole ready for RBI opportunities. Jamison Brockenbrough is the only true senior on the Clemson roster and became the leadoff hitter for the Tigers this year. She recently had her 24-game reach base streak broken during the Duke series. She draws walks, hits for power and average, and has the 2nd most stolen bases on the team. She is an impact player at the top of the lineup.
All right, Jenny, let's take a look at tonight's What to Watch For, presented by Ally.
Yeah, North Carolina, there have been at least 8 solo home runs by Leggett this season. Her home runs need to have runners on base. For Clemson, they've had 50 free passes in the last 10 games. That needs to be shored up.
Clemson hadn't played in a couple weekends. They have the last week of the regular season off. North Carolina enters having lost their last 7. So can Sanaa Thompson, Lexi Roberts, and Emily Leggett get things going at the top of this very dangerous North Carolina order, as there is ball 1 thrown by Sierra Manis for Clemson.
It's important for Sanaa Thompson to set the tone early in this one. She has been more free swinging this year, and they are looking for her to get on to get things started.
Sanaa Thompson has reached base in all but 4 games on the season and jumps ahead in the count 2-0 as we look at Sierra Manis. And Jenny, we had that Clemson-Duke series, but we didn't see Manis because she exited game 1 in the 3rd inning and didn't throw again. So this is the first time she has been in the circle since game 1 against Duke. Ground ball left side, scooped up over there at third by Sarah Bro, and there's 1 away.
And there was an illegal pitch called on that last pitch, so it looks like Sanaa Thompson will be coming back to the batter's box to be able to go again against Sierra Manis. And what she'll be seeing is upper 60s, mainly throws that drop, changeup, and curve. She'll flash the ball up in the zone, but uses the rise to her glove side more than her arm side. That changeup, she tunnels well with her drop, and she has a ton of confidence in that pitch.
So Thompson comes back to the plate after the illegal pitch. See if Manis can retire her again. There is a strike to Thompson.
And what a gift for North Carolina. That illegal pitch definitely helps out the Tar Heels, as they were not successful getting Sanaa Thompson on, but this illegal pitch brings her back to the box and another chance.
This is hit well to left center field, back toward the track, and Kylie Johnson is there. So in the end, it's still out number 1.
Great response by Manis in the circle to be able to come back with the adjustment needed in her feet to keep herself legal in the circle and deliver that strike.
Sierra Manis has had an excellent first season at Clemson, spent her first 2 years at USC Upstate. All Big South first team last year with 21 wins and a 2.24 ERA. She's just a tick under 3 this season. But man, she had some fantastic moments for them and a big reason why Clemson is where they are. .1-0 pitch is low. This is Lexi Roberts at the dish for North Carolina, a team that hits just under 350, the 5th best average in the league, 2nd most home runs as a team in the league. Roberts more of a speedster, gets on base and lets the power hitters bring her in. That is fouled down the left field line.
That's a mature slide by the left fielder, Kylie Johnson, going into the wall, not trying to run into it, but goes in with her feet to try to grab that one. It is just beyond the reach of the left fielder, but that is a heads-up play to be able to keep herself safe over there down the line.
Wouldn't put it past Kylie Johnson to go take that away either. We saw her rob a home run and throw a runner out at home and hit a home run in the same game in their win over Duke in that series.
Definitely an impact player, and out there in left, she is so valuable as the defense continues to play this slapper a little bit differently.
3-1, Chopper on the infield. A quick throw over to first for the second out.
When you put the shift on against a slapper, it can really mess with them as they try to get the ball through the infield with 3 defenders on the left side. Cannot hit her way out of it. Clemson still in control of this half inning.
Here's what North Carolina has done so far this year. Got off to a 17-0 start, a program record 97 home runs. And one thing Megan Smith-Lyon has continued to do is this offense just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, she says that their goal is to make sure that they are balanced. They have a lot of power, but they didn't know where their power would be at the beginning of the season. They found it in Emily Leggett this year.
1-1 to Leggett. Yeah, she told us a couple weeks ago it wasn't necessarily what they expected. They didn't know that they were going to have this caliber of power, but it helps when you've got Leggett, who's closing in on 30 home runs for the season.
5 of their hitters are in double-digit home runs, so they've got power all through the lineup. But this is one of those hitters that you have to make sure that you pitch around. A walk in this situation right now does not concern me. That would be a controlled walk. That doesn't mean that Manis is losing her control of the strike zone. They're just very careful around this big bat.
2-1. Leggett swinging. It almost looked like that went off her foot, and she's going to beat this out. Usually it's the big swing, but using the legs here.
Definitely did not get much barrel on that one, but it worked in her favor because got jammed up, pounded it into the ground. Manis could not get there, and because of that, the first baseman, Mac Pavesi, had to try to get over there and get it, but the second baseman didn't have time to get over and cover up either. So Leggett gets a nice little hit to start things off.
Well, she's 6 for 6 stealing bases, so she's shown off the wheels a few times this year. First pitch outside to Shelby Barbie, a graduate student from Oakboro, North Carolina, is having a career year in her final season. She hit .211 last year with 8 home runs. This year hitting .354 with 15 doubles and 14 home runs.
And more than anything, she ended 2025 as one of their best hitters, and in this season, 2026, was able to pick up right where she left off.
Second year at North Carolina after 3 years, playing right here in Charlottesville at Virginia.
I think one of the biggest parts of her game that she's been able to improve from last year to this year is just letting results go. Sometimes when you get out in a previous at-bat, it can trickle into the next plate appearance. But Barbie has been able to step into the box with a clear mind and able to execute.
2-2 count to Barbie. There's really a number that North Carolina has to target in this game, and it is holding Clemson to 5 or fewer, because this offense is so good that when they hold opponents to 5 or fewer runs, they're 25-2.
I think what you're going to see throughout this entire ACC championship is just needing to control the run game and also keeping the ball from leaving the yard. It's the extra base hits as well as the free passes that have impacted so many of these teams.
Georgia Tech was really swinging it good this morning in the opener of this ACC championship.
Gotta love it when your first game of the day is a run rule. I mean, obviously it shows dominance for Georgia Tech, and they're really trying to write a resume that gives them a good postseason seed.
Sets up a really interesting meeting tomorrow with Georgia Tech and Florida State, who saw each other 3 times in the second to last weekend of the regular season. And we talked about it this weekend because we had Florida State, but that very well could have been a series that Georgia Tech won 2 games out of 3, and instead they end up getting swept.
Florida State had their back against the wall multiple times, but figured out a way to come out victorious in all 3 of those.
Outside ball 3. It's a great at bat here for Shelby Barbie in this first inning off Manis. "3-2" just misses outside, and it's first and second with 2 away.
Just a quality plate appearance here at this part of the game to be able to draw that 3-2 count and show discipline on the zone, knowing that Manis is trying to get that swing and miss off the plate. Great hold by Barbie.
20th walk of the year for Shelby Barbie. She's been hit by a team-high 18 pitches. A chance here for Michelle Tarpey. Has a hit in 2 of the last 3 games with a triple in the regular season finale for the Tar Heels. I mentioned they have lost 7 in a row, as Clemson wants to talk things over here with Sierra Manis. Kyle Jamison, the Clemson pitching coach, out to discuss things with Sierra. It's tough because she didn't throw in those last 2 games of the regular season. They had the last weekend off, so it's been a while since this Clemson team stepped on the field.
When we talked to John Rittman, he said that Manis was available to throw in that last game at Duke, but he wanted to give her the time off to give her a chance to recover from that injury that she suffered in the first game of the Duke series. With that extra time off, though, at times that can make you a little less sharp on the strike zone, and that seems to be where Manis is right now.
1-0 pitch to Tarpey. Takes strike 1. She's dropped her average down from the last couple of years. She's a transfer from NC State, so familiar with the ACC, but hit .345 or better each of the last 2 years. She is adding a little bit more power this year, though, in run production. The average is still up at .286 on the season. Two-one to Tarpey. Chopper gets into left field. They will send the runner. The throw from Johnson is off the mark, trying to take an extra base, and a run scores, but they get Barbie trying to take third.
Fantastic job by Tarpey to be able to pound the ball into the ground. We're seeing that the ground is playing a little bit hard, and because of that, it gives the nice hop over the head of Sarah Breaux at third base, and with that hop, you got some speed coming around to put the first run of the game on the board for North Carolina.
CC Softball Championship is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Stickers getting moved on in the bracket, and I just have to say, those were lined up really well. Different techniques, too.
It's hard to make sure that those are straight, but it's important because you're moving on to tomorrow.
North Carolina Clemson for a date with Duke, the 2 seed, tomorrow night. Jamison Brockenbrough, the lights-out leadoff hitter for Clemson, ready to roll. Takes ball one outside. Jamison Brockenbrough having a career year. You'll see Corey Hicks down in the 7 spot. Has great power from that area. The last 15 games, she's hit 5 home runs and driven in 14 runs. Clemson catcher looking to make a big impact today after spending her first year at Oklahoma last year. Brockenbrough has a hit in 12 of the last 14. It's been super consistent all year long for this Clemson team as she takes strike one, 2-1 count.
So important that Brockenbrough is able to set the tone here at the top for Clemson, especially with the way that North Carolina was able to come out and score that first run in the top half of the inning.
Strike 2.
And to be able to go against Frost in the circle, it's going to be important that they stay in their legs. These Tigers like to be aggressive, but with that changeup that she is able to throw in any count, it's going to be important for them to stay balanced to attack her.
Outside, 3-2 count to the leadoff hitter for Kendall Frost, a sophomore from Roswell, Georgia. First year at North Carolina, transferred from East Carolina, who she actually got to throw against just a few weeks ago in a midweek game, but started the season with a 1.47 ERA in the first 11 appearances. And gets the strikeout of Brockenbrough.
That's the difference maker that you are going to see from Kendall Frost, and I think that's why she gets the start here today. Not only does she have the most innings pitched on staff, but this pitch right here, that little flip change, is so important that she continues to locate that pitch. I'd like to see her hit it on the corners. She likes to stay down in the zone as she sits mid to upper 60s, but that changeup, it will happen in any count, and Clemson has to be ready.
First pitch swinging for Kylie Chanel, and that's fouled out of the stadium for strike 1. Chanel from Florida Atlantic. So these two likely were foes last year in the American Conference. Chanel was the American Conference Rookie of the Year 2 years ago and also conference second team last year. She is aggressive in these first 2 pitches she sees, 0-2.
And knowing that you've got that changeup that could come out of the circle at any time, it is important as a hitter that you attack this pitcher's velocity pitches when they come in. North Carolina has not been able to keep the ball in the corners very well this year. A lot of those pitches sit middle.
This is smoked into left field, but it stays up, and it's a nice catch by Lexi Roberts.
Defense is going to be so important for North Carolina here today to be able to back up Frost in the circle, and that kind of play right there is what they need all day long. That ball was hit right on the screws, a definite missile out to the outfield, but look at that, nice catch by Roberts.
Two away in the first for the true freshman, Mac Pavesi. Had a tough final series of the regular season for Clemson. Just 1 hit in that series. It was a solo home run in game 1. Takes the 1-0 off speed.
Lefties typically have a better batting average against Kendall Frost in the circle. And the other thing in Mac Pavesi's corner is she hits the changeup very well.
Goes opposite field. This is carrying, and another nice grab out there and left by Lexi Roberts. 1-0 UNC after 1. just the beginning of an incredible postseason run for Clemson last year, and their head coach John Rittman now in year 7, the man who has built this Clemson program into what it is. 10 wins against ranked opponents, the best in program history, ties the best in program history. He knows what it takes to win when it's all on the line.
Well, and he eclipsed win 1,000 this season with wins earlier in ACC regular season play. He is a trusted head coach that has been at the helm of 3 different programs in the country.
Reagan Jennings leads things off for North Carolina here in the second. They got one in the first on an RBI single from Michelle Tarpey. There's strike 1 for Manis. Ground ball right side picked up by Collins, and there is 1 out. There's some familiarity here between John Rittman and Megan Smith-Lyon. Megan Smith-Lyon was the head coach at Kansas before she went to Marshall for 9 years. John Rittman joined Kansas where he was an associate head coach there. So these two actually crossed paths as Jayhawks, and now matching up here in the first round of the ACC championship. Off the end of the bat, Pavesi, it's about as easy as it'll get for her this weekend.
Well, and this is a much better inning for Sierra Manis. Threw 27 pitches in the first inning, and I think just needed to get rid of some of those hiccups, maybe the jitters that have crept back in with the lack of pitching in the past couple of weeks. Now a lot more tuned in to the strike zone.
That was a strike. It looked like she might have missed her spot, or catcher Hicks behind the plate had to reach over, but she was set up inside, so it worked out. Here's MC Eaton. Slow finish to the regular season for Eaton. Just 2 for 19 in the last 7 games. One of those hits was a home run. Senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. They could use her to turn it around right here.
Everybody talks about the power of Emily Leggett, but MC Eaton truly has so much power. This, her senior season, only had 4 at-bats last year, has got double-digit home runs this season, sitting in that DP role.
Another one who spent 3 years here in Charlottesville, trying to go down the line. That is a foul ball. And I don't know if she knows it yet. I think she thinks she just had a double. Nope, there it is.
Those are really hard when you have to come back to the box and your heart rate is elevated and you've already run 120 feet. I know that's not a lot of distance, but at the same time, it's in a full sprint. That's the right call on the field, but the only umpire to call it was back behind the plate. So she legged that one out thinking she was getting the stand-up double.
So you're saying deep breath time.
Definitely, because you have to calm the heart rate before you step back into the box with 2 strikes.
2-2. Bounced in by Manis.
I mean, that's one of those situations where I want Manis to throw that changeup. Try to take advantage of a hitter that's maybe sped up a little bit in her head, but can't, and runs it full.
Swing and a miss. Manis gets her first strikeout of the night. Clemson back to the plate, down 1.
4 teams that want to get to Oklahoma City.
Everyone in the country wants to hear their name be called.
I feel like it's just the beginning of a new season.
The Selection Special Sunday, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. And how about this, Jenny? Regionals a week from Friday. Championship week is underway. The selection show on the 10th, and then Regionals, Supers, and the Women's College World Series starts May 28th.
So what you're telling me is Christmas is Sunday.
It's here.
Everybody looks toward the postseason, and I think a lot of teams get hung up on their win-loss record, and your RPI is definitely important. However, the most important thing is making sure that your name is called on Sunday, because starting Monday, it's a new season. Your win-loss record doesn't matter, your RPI doesn't matter, your stats technically don't matter. It's all about the confidence that you take into the postseason, and right now, these teams have built resumes that have taught them lessons that should be able to last them the postseason.
Macy Cintron leads off the inning for Clemson, and if the Tigers are going to get hot, if they're going to make a run, you feel like Macy Cintron will have to play well on both sides of the ball. The bat's been coming around. We've seen her more pitching down the stretch in this season, too.
Now, Cintron has been incredibly valuable to this Clemson team this year. She's had to pick up innings in the circle while they've faced some injuries in their pitching staff. Her bat has been incredibly important for them at the plate.
Takes ball 4. Clemson, from a resume standpoint, might be a little bit outside of that hosting range. 22nd in the RPI, going to be hard for them. And again, that's not exactly where they are in the committee's eyes, but if it were, it's going to be hard to move 6 spots. The one thing is they seed 1 through 32 this year, so you'd rather be up there close to 20 so you don't have to play one of the top teams in the country.
And this Clemson ball club, in its young career, not just this season, but they have not been a program for very long, and in each of those seasons they have had to go up against the eventual national champion in Super Regionals. Is this the year that they'll be able to find a favorable bracket to get them to OKC?
Last year, they very nearly altered softball history. We wouldn't have known it at the time, but they almost went to Austin and upset Texas. Marion Collins at the plate in a 1-1 count. 5 straight NCAA tournaments. He's led them to the postseason every year. 3 times they've gone to Supers. Last year's ACC tournament champions. Went to the Women's College World Series twice with Stanford back in 2001 and 2004.
We were talking about this earlier. A player on that team, Jessica Allister, went with Rittman, who is now the head coach at Stanford. North Carolina taking an opportunity to bring things together as head coach Megan Smith-Lyon comes to the circle to have a conversation with her entire infield.
Frost 10 balls, 10 strikes in her 20 pitches here in this second inning.
And that actually isn't Megan Smith-Lyon. Megan Smith-Lyon is still in the dugout. So one of the assistant coaches coming out to have that conversation on the infield.
Two-one count for Marion Collins. Had a ton of power last year with 11 home runs, 47 RBIs. Just 6 home runs this year. Right on the line, and the throw is low. That's a great pick. It's short, though. Horton digs it up and applies the tag.
I mean, you couldn't have scripted that any better defensively, because over there at first base, Emily Leggett literally picked the ball up while standing on first base. And what that means is the throw to second needed to apply the tag. Now, as a first baseman, when you turn around to make this throw, your arm slot needs to fall down into a 45-degree, because coming over the top, a lot of times you will spike it, just like she did there.
What a play by Horton to take away any breath of momentum that Clemson might have had to start this inning.
So important to be able to pitch to contact in that situation, and by jamming up Collins, it set that play up beautifully.
Big swing up the middle there, and it was even more important, that double play, because this is kind of the power part of this Clemson lineup with Sarah Breaux, who just did that, and Corey Hicks coming up next.
You're right. If you leave the ball big over this part of the lineup, you are going to pay, because Sarah Breaux is one of those hitters that has been swinging it really well. She has 5 home runs in her last 10 games. They've kind of tweaked her swing mechanics, her hand mechanics here at the end of the season, and it is paying off for them at the plate.
Another big swing. It took the glove off of Frost, and Hicks reaches. She hit it so hard, it took the glove off Kendall Frost.
That is one of those scary moments for a pitcher in the circle, and I think pitchers around the country have started wearing those face masks simply because of how close they stand to the plate off of these really hot bats. Corey Hicks, one of those hitters that you have to be so careful of, because that right there, you want to make sure that you can defend yourself. The glove took the brunt of the force on that one, but Hicks on first base.
Did you ever lose your glove during the game?
No, but I also played second base, so I was a little bit further away.
I just have to imagine that's an awkward feeling. You always have your glove on in the field, and then all of a sudden you're standing there with your bare hands out.
Well, but a great response by Frost in the circle to respond quickly, go grab the ball, and almost got the play at first to get him out of the inning.
Little 2-out rally for Clemson, and without the double play, who knows where we'd be right now. 0-2 count, though, to Kylie Johnson. Has to protect. Has a hit in 3 of the last 4 in that regular season, including a 2-run shot in the win over Duke.
If you think back to last year at the ACC championship game, she was one of those big hitters to come out with the home run to give them that win in the championship.
Stays alive in the 1-2 count.
Another thing you have to worry about with Kylie Johnson at the plate is her speed. She's got 12 stolen bases on the season, has the most stolen bases on the team, and so putting the ball on the ground, she is able to beat things out herself, but she's got runners on that she's trying to protect. She's got to get this one through the infield.
Takes upstairs to even the count at 2-2. Third year at Clemson for Kylie Johnson from Wesley Chapel, Florida. Oh, and she looks at the off speed for strike 3. A dirty pitch from Kendall Frost.
That is devastating. With a runner in scoring position, her knees completely buckled. Surprised by the changeup. Second strikeout of the game for Kendall Frost comes at a really important part. huge hit by Emily Leggett with 2 outs to put herself on. Shelby Barbie drew the walk, and then Michelle Tarpey, bouncing hit over the third baseman, scored Leggett. That's the only run we have so far in this early ball game.
North Carolina, maybe some work to do here. 48th in the RPI. They're further down than Georgia Tech, but this is a win that could help them quite a bit over Clemson. Maybe need 2 this weekend, though.
Yeah, the deepest I've seen make it to the postseason is a 46 RPI, and so that right there is a scary number as we head into Selection Sunday, knowing that you need to find a way to try to either improve that RPI or give the committee something good to look at here at the end of the season. This is a North Carolina team that is sitting on a 7-game losing streak here at the end of the year, and they've been against some really difficult teams. Florida State and Virginia Tech got swept in both of those series, but a win here against Clemson could really help.
Yeah, that's the tough part. In this 7-game losing streak, it hasn't been that they've been playing poorly against mid-tier teams. You get 3 at Florida State, you play a midweek against South Carolina, and then you go to Blacksburg to play Virginia Tech.
Yeah, losses on the road, and then a big football score against South Carolina. It was a 14-16 loss in the 8th inning. So they are a team that doesn't stop fighting. They've just found themselves on the wrong end of the win-loss column too many times here at the end of the season.
Fouled back by Sydney Horton. 9-1-2 due up for North Carolina here in the 3rd inning. We had split picks, too, from the studio crew. Brittany McKinney rolling with the alma mater, North Carolina. Alex Powers likes Clemson. So you don't have to make a pick. You have it easy.
I do. Is it wrong for me to call Brittany a homer, though, in that situation? No, I love. She had great reasons for picking them, but yeah, the decision is split. Let's see who gets the win.
She is right, though. There is some desperation here for North Carolina. They're off to a good start, 1-0. Sydney Horton puts a runner on for the top of the order. Here's this weekend's featured baseball game on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Saturday, number 14, Florida State and Clemson play the 2nd game of their 3-game series at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Coverage begins at 6.
Clemson kind of in a situation of trying to boost their RPI to give themselves a deeper run on the baseball side. Florida State kind of projected to be a number 1 seed in the NCAA tourney as they sit number 4 in the ACC standings right now.
Florida State softball just arriving in Charlottesville today because they had the day off. Chance for 2. Thompson has far too much speed for that.
And I appreciate that Sanaa Thompson wanted to stay on top of that pitch coming in, but by swinging so hard down, didn't give her runner going to second base much of a chance to advance. And Sanaa Thompson has a ton of power, just way too much of an incline on that swing.
Lexi Roberts in the 2 spot, showing bunt and pulls back. Hicks trying to keep Thompson honest over at first base. Sanaa has stolen just 4 bases this year in 4 attempts, but certainly has the speed to go get one if she wanted to. Inside, that gets away, and Thompson will jog to second.
So accomplishes the need to get into scoring position. This year, North Carolina has not stolen as many bases as they did a year ago. Just 26 stolen bases for the entire team. That pitch gets away from Corey Hicks back behind the plate. It's an easy jog over for Sanaa Thompson. And I like the fact that Corey Hicks went out to talk to her pitcher here. We've seen Hicks get switched up back behind the plate, or mixed up in terms of location and where the ball continues to come in to Hicks back behind the plate. Hicks was not an everyday starter at Oklahoma because of how deep that roster was. So this year, her first year as an everyday starter.
Hicks did a nice job to reach out and grab that, or else Thompson would be standing on 3rd right now.
Oh, very athletic back behind the plate. That's what makes her so good. She's able to be mobile and keeps the runner over at second base because of her athleticism.
There's a strike on a 3-0 count from Manis. Well, this is This was your key, basically, for North Carolina. Set the table for Emily Leggett, who stands on deck right now with one out and already one in scoring position. Foul ball for strike two. Full count here against Maness.
On the way that they are approaching Roberts in the box, they've brought in their right fielder, moved her over there at second base. So 3 defenders on the left side as Maness needs to make sure that this pitch stays outside.
That is hit to the left side. The flip to third is not in time, and it's going to be first and third for Leggett.
That right there is a risky play by Sanaa Thompson. That ball going to the left side, you as a runner typically need to stay at second base. Because she is so quick, she actually pulled Chanel out of what she should have done with that ball. And that play at third base got sped up, and nobody could put a fork in it and rein in and out. Typically, you like to see Chanel drive that ball to first base for the out, but now runners on the corners.
And here is Leggett. Runner goes, it's thrown right back to Maness, and it's 2 in scoring position for arguably the ACC's most dangerous hitter. 26 home runs, 74 RBIs, and she hits .470. Hit 4 home runs in the final 6 games of the regular season. And they will put her on first base.
When they go into a typical intentional walk defensive position with the first baseman way up the line. In case that ball gets by Hicks, the first baseman will come in to cover up the plate. Everybody just trying to hold their position and put Leggett on first with that one open.
The dugout from North Carolina is chanting, "We want Shelby," and it's Shelby Barbie who will get the opportunity with the bases loaded.
And it's so important in this situation to make sure that you understand what is happening, because with bases loaded, Shelby Barbie could take this situation and feel the pressure of what's going on. But more than anything, when you sit at the plate with one out and bases juiced, North Carolina is definitely in control of this, because Maness not really as sharp on the strike zone as we've seen her in the past. I am a little bit shocked at the lack of control that we're seeing in Maness right now coming out of the circle.
You know what's tough about working with you?
What's that?
I can't ask you, what's it like when somebody intentionally walks someone to get to you? It's just never happened to you. And you were likely never intentionally walked with Laura Espinosa sitting behind you as the home run queen as it stands.
Well, and that's the thing. We've heard that name, Laura Espinosa, all season long because of Kendall Wells at Oklahoma chasing that single season home run record. I was blessed to be able to be the hitter that hit in front of Laura Espinosa. So a lot of teams went right at me.
It gets away from Hicks in the dirt. North Carolina doubles their lead.
And if you think back to what were our keys of the game in this one for Clemson, it was control the free passes. Not only are free passes an issue, but right now the ball in the dirt continues to be something that plagues Maness in the circle. Her control definitely not as sharp as it needs to be. And you wonder, were those 2 weeks off after injury at Duke something that has impacted what's going on?
That one is off in the left side, and another run comes across. Just frustration for Clemson right now. And Barbie hasn't done anything at the plate yet.
No, Barbie can just sit and wait, because Maness continues to wrap these pitches with a bow for North Carolina. It's impossible for a catcher to be able to block that one. It's taking some pretty crazy hops off the dirt by the plate, and Hicks is trying to keep them in front by blocking them. Just cannot keep them in front, and North Carolina putting 2 more runs up on the board.
They are going to make a change here. You just hope everything with Sierra Maness is all right, too, after exiting that Duke series. So she will take a seat for Abby Dunning. It's a 3-0 North Carolina lead here in the third. Start, but only goes 2 1/3, gives up 2 hits, 3 earned, 3 walks, and these couple wild pitches that help score runs.
It's important to be able to have discipline on the plate as a hitter, but right now North Carolina is just allowing the runners to run because these are not even hittable pitches coming into the plate. Because of that, Sierra Manis will be relieved, and we will see a new pitcher in the circle for Clemson.
It's a grad student from Chicago, Illinois, and a transfer from Boston College, where she spent 4 years. Abby Dunning, who we saw a ton of in their final regular season series at Duke. She actually got the Game 2 win over the Blue Devils. The numbers in that series were a little deceiving because Dunning threw pretty well.
She did. She has the second most innings pitched on this staff and was a workhorse in 23 and 24, but was out due to injury or had limited action in 2025. This year, she's throwing right around 70 miles an hour. Uses her screw, her curve, and her rise typically at the top of the zone. Will throw her changeup, but usually only when she's ahead, so that helps you as a batter to know when to wait for that change of speed. She will flash the drop, but not in hitter counts.
And the pressure's on Abby Dunning right now, not just in this inning, but in this game, to keep it right here for this Clemson team to try and crawl their way back in it, or else it's going to be a really short trip to Charlottesville, much different than their ACC championship experience last year.
We've talked multiple times about the RPI of North Carolina, but I think while Clemson sits in a really good spot with their RPI, they need to gain some momentum heading into the postseason.
And the 3-0 count, there is strike 1. Still Shelby Barbie at the plate. A lot has happened since she stepped up.
I think it's really important right now for Dunning to step in and settle in quickly. Came in with that 2-0 count and now gets her first strike.
There is ball 4 to Barbie. So when she stepped up to the plate, there were the bases loaded. She ends that at bat with a runner on third. Now it's first and third, still just 1 out in the inning for Clemson.
Well, the runner on third was an intentional walk put on by Manis. It was just 2 pitches that allowed 2 runs to come across, as Dunning then had to enter the circle. And in this situation, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails as a Clemson Tiger. You see so much potential with just a 1-run deficit that you have to come back from. Well, now all the momentum on North Carolina's side.
2 strikes to start off Michelle Tarpey, and that's more like it from Dunning, trying to calm things down for the Tigers.
And she loves that screwball. As a right-handed hitter, you've got to be ready to pull the trigger and get the barrel to the ball, driving the ball to the left side. And there's the changeup. That's the difference maker. If Dunning can throw that pitch with authority, it's going to be really difficult for these UNC hitters to adjust, because when you see velocity inside have to pull the trigger and then changeup outside, man, you come out of your legs and you lose that point of contact being offset in your weight.
That one gets away, but it hits the netting and bounces back. It will only allow Barbie to go to second. Leggett has to hold up at third.
And so important to make sure that you throw to the zone. Dunning gets the advantage of it, hitting the backstop quickly and rebounding to Hicks, but she was ready to cover up the plate in case Leggett wanted to advance.
This is driven to left field in foul territory, and oh my goodness, Kylie Johnson. Their feet up in the air, and fortunately is okay. She wasn't slowing down.
We talked about this early. I mean, how aggressive Kylie Johnson is out in left field. She is an elite outfielder. Luckily able to keep herself from going all the way over the wall, but a scary moment for sure for Clemson fans.
Maybe a little sore after that one.
Nah, she's good.
She gave the thumbs up. 1-2 outside from Dunning. Tarpey drove in the first run of the game for North Carolina.
You're seeing great discipline by Tarpe at the plate, not chasing that outside pitch, forcing Dunning to go back to her bread and butter, which is that screwball. She is anticipating being able to drive this ball hard on the inside part of the plate.
Swing and a miss. Big pitch from Abby Dunning.
And an important strikeout for Dunning to be able to establish herself here in this ballgame, just the second out of the inning, but to be able to go up with just so much control on that rise ball. We saw it hit the backstop in the last time she tried to throw the rise, and there gets the swing and miss for her first strikeout.
Two outs now, and that is inside. That got Reagan Jennings in an awkward spot on her back arm. Quickly, the trainer and their head coach, Megan Smith-Lyon, out of the dugout to check on Reagan Jennings.
You know, you see that. You see the arm protection on the lead arm. Very rarely do you see a hitter be opened up enough to be able to get hit on the back elbow, but that is a very scary moment. Completely missed the arm guard, went underneath, back into that left elbow. That is such a delicate spot. Hopefully she's okay.
She is the second baseman for North Carolina. All smiles.
So it's her glove arm, not her throwing arm. Third time she's been hit this season. I'm guessing that one is going to leave a mark.
Second time this inning that the bases have been loaded. This time it's Raina Blackwell, one of those 5 double-digit home run hitters for North Carolina, but she was 0 for 8 in the final regular season series at Virginia Tech. 7 of her 10 home runs have come since March 20th. So basically in the first 7 weeks had 3 home runs. Since that point, 7. Down in the count, 0-2. In the air to shallow right field, and back is Collins to make the catch. Abby Dunning does a nice job out of the bullpen to calm things down, but North Carolina up 3-0.
Damage done and nothing the defense could do with 2 wild pitches. 2 more runs come across for North Carolina. They put themselves in a really good spot here in the third.
Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Loading 6 teams take the field in their home markets, each stacked with a lineup worthy of the spotlight. The AUSL on ESPN. This is legendary.
From college softball to the pros this summer. Opening day for the AUSL on June 9th. North Carolina Clemson in the first round of the ACC Softball Championship. North Carolina up 3-0 on the Tigers. Not just a 3-time national champion and a National Player of the Year, but the general manager of the Chicago Bandits, who just took part in the AUSL College Draft just a few days ago. You get Jocelyn Erickson, you get Ilana Agbayani, and you get the ACC representative Taryn Kern, who we'll see tomorrow for Stanford.
Yeah, hoping that all of them are willing to join the AUSL at the end of their collegiate seasons. They've all been drafted.
This is lifted to deep left field, and carrying that ball is gone. Absolutely crushed by Taylor Pipkins. We'll add it to the growing tally for Pipkins, her 7th home run in the last 14 games.
You are looking at last year's ACC Championship Tournament MVP. What's she doing here? More of the same. Lead off, home run, 3rd inning, 8th home run of the year. She's finding a way to get Clemson back in this one. They had been flat with a bunch of pitching miscues in the last half inning. This now brings new life to that Clemson dugout.
Now back to the top of the order for Jamison Brockenbrough. Top 3 in the order for Clemson, set down in order. To start off the first inning for the Tigers, Brockenbrough went down on strikes looking. Falls behind 0-2 right here to Kendall Frost.
And went down with the changeup, looking in her first plate appearance here today. It's that changeup that is a difference maker for Frost. She uses it in these great situations when she sits in a pitcher's count.
Reaches out and taps it up the middle, has great speed, and she beats it out. An infield single for Jamison Brockenbrough.
Anytime a slapper can get the ball to hit the ground twice, it gives them time to get down the line. So that high hop helps her use that speed down the line. So important to be able to just be hard out of the box. That throw a little bit off gives her time to get down the line. Hits the front of the bag, played perfectly by the slapper.
Looks like a 100-meter runner right there. Leaning forward to get through the finish line. Bunt is down by Chanel. Brockenbrough to second, and Clemson finding some success here in this 3rd inning.
Well, when it comes to the way that John Rittman coaches his ball clubs, he is not afraid to play station to station. So in this one, the bunt put down by Chanel moves the runner into scoring position, and with a ton of ball game left to play, he's just giving his big hitter, Pavesi, a chance to be able to knock one in with a ball to the grass.
13th sack bunt of the season for Chanel. Leads Clemson, one of the top marks in the ACC. Chance for Mac Pavesi to bring another one in. John Rittman really happy with the buy-in from Mac Pavesi as far as the work that it takes to be a college player, an elite college hitter. Said she had a really good fall and didn't necessarily expect her to be one of their best hitters early on, but she has produced in a big way. That one bounces over the glove of Jennings, and around comes Brockenbrough to score.
And that's why it was so important for that sack bunt by Kylie Chanel. Pavesi has been able to put the ball in play in those key situations so many times. So with a runner on second base, she simply needs to get this ball through the infield, because with speed on second, it gives Brockenbrough a chance to use those wheels and come in standing up to the plate. Great at bat by Mac Pavesi, the leading RBI producer on this Clemson lineup.
And John Rittman, it wasn't that he didn't think that Pavesi was going to be a really talented player, but I think with what they had coming back, thought others would really lead this offense with what they did last year. Pavesi stepped up big quickly, trying to get it going again down the stretch. As you look at Kendall Frost's pitch count so far at 39, 24 strikes, 15 balls, in a tight spot in the third.
It all comes down to making sure that her defense shows up behind her. They are going to need to tighten up their defensive play. That went down as an error on the second baseman on that hard hit ball by Pavesi.
Now Macy Cintron, the runner on first and one away. Takes a first pitch strike.
I don't think you can emphasize enough how important it is to have an elite changeup in our game right now, because velocity is the thing that's flashy and gets everybody's attention. But if you can change speeds the way that Frost has been able to do here in this ball game, it changes the way a hitter has to attack you and has to prepare for you in the box.
Cintron has to protect now after the outside corner was caught by Frost. 0-2 count. She go to that change up here. Tries to go right back to the corner.
Nice little flip throw by Raina Blackwell back behind the plate, trying to keep Pavesi honest over at first base.
Pavesi 5 stolen bases on the year in 8 attempts. 1-2, hit hard, and that one gets into left field. A base hit for Cintron with 2 strikes.
And you are seeing this Clemson dugout coming alive. They got a little bit flat with some of those miscues in their defensive set last half inning. But with the shortstop, Sydney Horton pulled a little bit more up the middle. It opened up that 5-6 hole, giving Cintron a chance to just poke this one into the outfield and put another runner in scoring position.
Not just as Clemson found the runs, but to your point, it feels like they found some energy finally here in this third inning. Strike one to Marion Collins. She is so dangerous. Mentioned the 11 home runs last year, just 6 this year, but we saw her hit a moonshot a couple weeks ago at Duke. 0-2.
She's got the best average on this team. So not only is she coming in with power potential, but in terms of average, she puts the ball in play often, has the second most RBIs on this team.
Off the end of the bat to stay alive, 0-2. She's just a sophomore from Marietta, Georgia. Back-to-back 50-hit seasons to start her career, at least 11 doubles and at least 30 RBIs in these first 2 years. Gotta love that if you're John Rittman, the consistency.
Most definitely. He says this is a lot of fun, a lot of talent, and a lot of swagger at the plate.
1-2. Clemson trying to turn this game on its head here in the third. After 2 runs in the top half of the inning, they've already matched that, and they're still just 1 away. That is Jill Livengood, a freshman from Wake Forest, North Carolina, getting loose in the North Carolina bullpen. This is a big pitch for Frost. Just outside, trying to take care of this batter and keep the runners where they're at. Inside, almost got Collins.
It is so important to be able to have control of both sides of the plate, to go inside, own that corner. As soon as that pitch gets away from you, though, as a right-handed thrower, it's pulling across your body and releasing a little too late. The rhythm of that motion needs to be where you can continue to control that inside corner and exploit the inside part of the bat of the hitter at the plate.
3-2. Swing and a miss from Collins.
So important. I don't think you can hammer that home enough. The changeup is a devastating pitch, especially against hitters who love to swing big. That spin over the top fools the eye into thinking it is a drop ball, but it is not. The velocity has been pulled off, and with that, the swing and miss. Nice little strikeout, number 3 on the day for Kendall Frost. And that's the pitch that it tunnels well with, that drop ball. If Frost can continue to throw that drop ball well and hit that spot with her changeup, those two pitches look so similar coming out of the hand that you get those early swing and misses on the changeup.
Last 2 hitters, Frost jumped ahead of 0-2, but this time to Sarah Breaux. It's the power hitter that is in control. She's hit 7 of her 8 home runs in the last 15 games. One of a few Clemson hitters who have found their power and their stride late.
No doubt, it took 23 games for Sarah Breaux to hit her first home run, but here at the end of the season of her this is her freshman year. It took a little time to get started, but she has been able to find that rhythm here late in the year, especially at a time when Clemson has needed that extra punch.
In the air to deep center. Thompson back with her heels on the track to make the catch. Frost strands a pair, and it's still North Carolina in front. 3-2. We'll talk to their head coach next. State ACC Softball Championship from Charlottesville, Virginia. Going to the 4th inning, North Carolina leads Clemson 3-2. We're joined by North Carolina's head coach, Megan Smith-Lyon. Coach, really tough stretch for you guys coming into this of tough opponents and results. What did you tell the team to try and free them up for this weekend?
Well, I mean, postseason, it's a new season for us, right? And, you know, the last 3 weeks were preparing us to fight today. And, you know, that's got to be our mindset. We've got to fight no matter the circumstance.
Well, and you've already chased the starter from this ball game. How do you attack the reliever, Abby Dunning, to continue to put runs on the board?
Well, we still need to be greedy with our at-bats and make sure that we're not giving in and we're swinging at good pitches. That's going to be a key for us, and we need to continue to do that.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you. Go Heels.
She's right. It's all about making sure that you attack good pitches, because Dunning is going to try to disrupt timing, throw up, throw down, and so being able to continue to stay on the zone as a hitter, so important. 3
runs on just 2 hits. They've walked 4 times, couple runs on wild pitches. Michelle Tarpey drove in the first run of the game, and Dunning starts this inning with a pitch well inside to MC Eaton. It's 8-9-1 for the Tar Heels. For what Megan Smith-Lyon says needs to be a greedy lineup. I bet you were greedy at the plate.
the part about being greedy is you can't be selfish and try to do too much yourself. If a pitcher is trying to walk you, take the walk and pass the bat. So a greedy hitter has to make sure that they are also selfless in the sense of take what the pitcher is giving you, find the strike zone, swing on the strike zone, but let those balls go by.
And probably a good take there from Eaton on a really good spot from Dunning for strike one.
No, if you're not prepared for the inside part of the plate to attack, you need to let that one go because you'll simply get jammed up and get yourself out.
And it looked like she was almost sitting that pitch that time, but misses.
Well, and that's what elevation can do. That screwball can sometimes be elevated a little bit because it is very similar hand path for you as a pitcher. So if you can get a little bit of a scrise or a screwball rise, it gets over the barrel like that.
2-2, that is crushed. And I didn't see Brittany McKinney or Alex Powers move an inch for that ball.
Alex Powers moved, but it was to get out of the way. So our studio folks down the line might need to get some gloves with the way that a lot of these foul balls are going out there in their path.
Taylor Tannenbaum's gonna have to step up and grab a glove or something. Great pitch from Dunning. The off speed to the outside corner for the first out.
Huge pitch right there. That changeup is a difference maker. If she can continue to use that pitch and make it hit corners, that one's going to be an important one. Starts the inning off right with a nice little looking strikeout as she pulls the chain.
One away for the 9 spot, Sydney Horton. True freshman from Winston-Salem. Hitting .265 on the season. Down in the count, 0-2. Outside from Dunning. Good spot from Dunning again, and the location is dialed in right now for the Boston College transfer. ACC PM is live from the ACC spring meetings Monday and Tuesday at 4 Eastern on ACC Network. Stay up to date with the latest news, analysis, and interviews from across the conference. And as always, you can stream ACC PM on the ESPN app.
Those meetings so important as you set the tone for the way that the conference is moving forward. A lot of those athletic directors with some voting power in those spaces to be able to figure out how they're going to attack the biggest issues in our sports all across the country and throughout that conference.
Are you saying planning is important in the landscape of college athletics right now? Just a little bit. Into left field. That ball is carrying, and it is gone. Sanat Thompson leaves the yard, her 14th of the season.
When you ask Megan Smith-Lyon, what is it about Sanat Thompson that makes her so special, she says she's the spark plug of this program. This season, we've seen her swinging a lot more free. And in her junior year, she's swinging with a lot more confidence. You mentioned it already, Chucky, her 14th home run of the year. And she sits in that top of the lineup to give speed. Well, right there, the speed happened with the big home run. Another run for North Carolina.
Sanat Thompson's 73 runs are top 10 in the country. It's also a North Carolina single season record. Did you see that? They score almost half their runs via the home run. You mentioned in our call to Megan Smith-Lyon how much you liked watching Sanaa Thompson. She said, imagine being me. I get to be around her every day.
Well, and the key about Sanaa is she's been able to draw more walks this year because she's been more disciplined on the zone. And by being disciplined, the pitcher has to bring it into it, and then the ball leaves the yard when you swing like that.
Left side, Bro has it, and that will retire the side. But a great response from North Carolina to get another one on the board. They lead by 2. We'll talk to Clemson's John Rittman coming up next. ACC Softball Championship. Turned out to be a beautiful evening in Charlottesville. We're joined by Clemson's head coach, John Rittman. Coach, I have to ask you, Taylor Pipkins, I don't know what it is. She seems to love the ACC tournament, but it felt like you guys needed a spark. She's been swinging a great bat the last few weeks. What has changed for her down the stretch in this season?
I just think confidence. She's a really good hitter, a really good player, and I think she's caught fire second half of the ACC conference play. And like you said, she's been a huge spark for our offense this year.
Well, Sierra Manis had a hiccup at Duke and then re-emerging today, just not really sharp. What is it that you need to see out of Dunning now as she relieves in the circle?
Well, I think Dunning's just got to keep us around. We know they have an explosive offense, and we just got to eliminate the defensive mistakes behind our pitchers, and our pitchers got to work ahead. Like I said, they're an explosive offense. I have complete faith in our team coming back and scoring some more runs, so we just need Abby to settle in and pitch her game.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
It has just been an interesting year for Clemson. They've had massive stars in the college softball landscape. We saw a couple more depart last year, Alex Brown and Maddie Moore, a couple of 400-plus hitters. They lost their top 2 arms from last season with Brooke McCubbin and Reese Basinger. It's a different look of a Clemson team. It is a different feel from kind of how they play, but at the end of the day, John Rittman has found ways to get this team to win. Inside that hit Hicks, and she will take first.
And I think part of that change over is they've lost some pillars of their program. Graduated 10 players coming into this season, lost all but 12 2/3 innings pitched in the circle with the departure of McCubbin and Basinger from last year. So being able to bring in a key transfer like Corey Hicks is so important because you're trying to not only bring in solid bats, but great defenders as well.
They have just 2 seniors. They're both transfers. Brockenbrough transferred in last year from Tennessee, so this is their second year in the program. And then Abby Dunning transferred this year from Boston College. As you see, Kendall Frost will exit this game. North Carolina, not going to mess around too long. They know what might be on the line this weekend, and they will go straight to the freshman Jill Livengood.
On a 2-run lead is not much to mess with, especially with the way that Clemson bats swing at the bottom and top of the lineup. So I think this changeover helps them to be able, as they get close to coming back through for the 3rd time through the lineup.
Let's take a look at our updated ACC Softball Championship bracket. A couple results already. Great performance from Georgia Tech in the opener against Notre Dame, and then Louisville in very dramatic fashion, knocking off NC State on a walk-off base hit 6-5. Some great matchups to look forward to. I love what we could get in the second round with some rivalry opportunities, some rematches potentially between Stanford and Florida State if they were to make it to the semifinals. Just a lot of good things that can happen these next few days.
I mean, it was so dramatic. In the beginning, it was a run rule win for Georgia Tech, a statement win for them to head into the next round tomorrow. But when you look at the way that Louisville was able to come back from a big deficit in that walk-off win, 20th comeback win of the season.
There's just a lot at stake in different areas. For North Carolina and Georgia Tech, it's very much about making a statement this weekend and getting the committee's attention to make them a team that hears their name called on Selection Sunday. You see the freshman Jill Livingood, who is 1-3 this year with a 5.37 ERA in 44 1/3 innings, has struggled in the back part of this season.
Well, her strikeout to walk ratio is not really where it needs to be. She'll throw in the mid-60s, lives by her rise, curve, and screw mix, which is in the top of the zone. She doesn't have a drop ball, doesn't really have a reliable speed change pitch either.
There is strike one, but it bounces away. And it's going to allow the runner to get to second base. That's Kennedy Ariel running for Corey Hicks.
So more speed on the base paths now as they run for Corey Hicks. Put a little bit more speed, and now it sits in scoring position.
Nobody out as that is fouled off and out of the stadium for strike two.
Being a role player on a ball club can be really difficult because you sit on the bench just waiting for your chance to get in the game. But right now, that is an important run sitting on second base as Ariel comes off the bench in a pinch run situation.
1-2. First postseason action in Jill Livingood's career. Another foul ball gets out of here. Kylie Johnson just wants to pick up where she ended the regular season at Duke.
I mean, it was a pretty good hit, I think. I mean, that ball, that ball got brought back. Not only did the ball get brought back, but later in that ball game, gunned out a run at the plate. It was a huge win for Clemson.
Robbed one, hit one, and threw one out in the same game.
Robbed one, threw one out at the plate, and then jacked one. I mean, she is an all-around player. We've seen her be so good out there and left already here today.
Again, fouls it off, making it very difficult on the freshman. It's Kylie Johnson thinking at the plate. It almost felt like she knew those last couple pitches as far as she just wanted to waste those.
Well, and the hard part is when you come into the game with a brand new pitcher, you don't have anything that you've been seeing her throw. So you have to come in, you're almost like the leadoff batter in a ball game where you have to give the information back to the dugout. Not that she's trying to extend this at bat to kind of show the hand of what Livingood has in the circle, but as a hitter now, you don't have any experience against this pitcher, so you've got to make sure you stay athletic.
Reaches out, this one is playable into right field. Tarpey comes in to make the catch, one out.
Well, Pipkins in her last at bat. Look at that information getting passed from Kylie Johnson on to Pipkins, because in Pipkins' last at bat, she was facing Frost in the circle. What'd she do? Oh, that's right. She cleared both fences out there and left. She hit it over the bullpen. It was a huge poke, got that big run for Clemson.
Right side, it's caught. The throw to second, not quite in time. Leggett was ready for that. Pipkins is sat down.
Well, I think it's really important in that situation for Pipkins to attack early, and that's exactly what she did. throwing that ball outside part of the plate. She was ready. That's the zone she was hunting. With that, she hit it right at Leggett. But check out how Ariel is able to change directions quickly and get back. The worst thing you can do as a pinch runner is make a base running mistake when you come into a ball game in that situation. And so to be able to run with your head up and be reactive to the play is so important.
Dangerous hitter in Brockenbrough. If she can put something in the grass, it likely scores a run for Clemson. Driven foul down the right field line.
Well, you asked for it to be in the grass.
It's not that grass,
Oh,
Jenny.
got it. Dang it. Well, be more specific.
You know who wanted rain today? Those kids right there. Because that hill
Oops.
has mudslide written all over it.
It definitely does. You're right. But now that you're a dad, you understand that that
dangerous.
is not a good idea.
It's dangerous. See the shadow creeping over the stadium right now with the sun out, and maybe a little interesting for those middle infielders especially.
It can be, but it's that ball in the air you have to be aware of.
2-2.
Knowing that the ball will typically be in the air coming out of the circle, because Jill Livingood does not throw the ball down in the zone. So as a hitter, you attack the top of the zone, and what that means is she gets a lot more fly ball and line drive outs than she does on the ground.
All four infielders are just beyond the shadow in the sun. 3-2.
So knowing that the ball is coming up in the zone, that is information that needs to be handed off in the dugout. When you get a pitcher change, you need to know who is coming in, what is in their arsenal, and knowing that you've got somebody that's top of the zone, you have to make sure that your barrel and knob stay above it on approach.
Another foul ball. Some great at-bats here from Kylie Johnson, who faced Livingood first, and now Jamison Brockenbrough as the third batter to face her.
When most of these foul balls that Brockenbrough is hitting off of Livingood are fouled with the barrel under the ball. So her approach right now is continuing to stay under the ball on approach. Again, still hitting the bottom of the ball. One of the things you have to do as a hitter is make an adjustment, knowing that the ball is going to be belt and above is on your approach. Your knob of your bat and your barrel of your bat need to stay above the ball as it continues to spin up to be able to stay on line, swing level, and drive the ball to the grass.
3-2. Swings through it. Big pitch from the freshman Livingood.
Jill Livingood coming in, setting the tone. Inherited a runner, advanced to second base, but comes away with a really big strikeout to get herself out of this inning. North Carolina hangs on to the lead. Livingood gets her first strikeout. big swings happening in back-to-back half innings. Taylor Pipkins with her 8th home run of the year got Clemson on the board. But the way that North Carolina was able to respond, Sanaa Thompson, big jack, and they sit on top, 4-2.
3 innings to play. Pretty good start for Kendall Frost, who goes 3 innings, gives up 1 earned. Living Good had a really nice relief appearance just moments ago. Clemson just needs to figure things out in the situational hitting department. 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position so far. And now UNC back at the plate here in the top of the 5th. They scored 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 4th.
We talked about what was it going to take to be successful against North Carolina, and North Carolina needed to have people on base for Emily Leggett, and she leads off an inning. It makes it kind of hard. 8 different times, at least 8 times this season, we've seen Emily Leggett with a solo home run. Those solo home runs aren't as painful. It's making sure that you find ways to get Emily Leggett up with people on base with the kind of power that she's shown this year.
And in a spot where she can't get intentionally walked, or at least it is deterred a little bit.
No doubt, because in her last plate appearance, with runners at 2nd and 3rd, leaving first base wide open, it's a no-brainer that you put her on intentionally. But then how do you combat power? You do exactly what Dunning is doing right now in the circle by giving her those changeups, make her supply the power to make the ball leave the yard. Giving her velocity just plays to her strength.
Back-to-back off speeds for Dunning. Now in a 2-2 count. Brings it this time and blows it by Leggett, who's trying to get to first. And a nice job by Pavesi to kind of reach around Emily Leggett and make the catch.
And a new catcher back behind the plate, Sam Minish, now taking over the role of the receiving responsibilities. This is a nice strikeout swing, but it is mishandled back in the back by Manis, and with that, has to make an additional play down the line to get the out.
Bounced in by Dunning to Shelby Barbie. Here's the new catcher, Minish, behind the plate. Sophomore from Hull, Georgia. Inside, ball 2. One of those lefty catchers.
I'm a fan.
I know you are, after that Jocelyn Erickson pick a couple nights ago.
Ooh, that's a pretty pitch. Exploiting that inside corner against these bats that are pretty free swinging is so important, because not only does she have the ability to jam up a big hitter, but she's showing that change of speed with authority. While it's not a strike, it gets in the head of Barbie.
Minish did not receive that, but it is strike 1. North Carolina was asking, but I think it was a strike. It just looked awkward because Minish didn't catch it.
Yeah, it's got some really nice movement on the inside part of the plate.
Here's strike 2. Nice bounce back here from Dunning.
On the inside screw and the rise ball, very similar pitches. So out of the hand, those are hard to detect. Are they going to take a little ride up, or is it going to come in on my hands? Those are great sister pitches.
Foul ball down the third base line. Just around Corey Lyon, the third base coach.
Little sign language down to her coach in third base box telling him, I'm so sorry.
Quick visit from Minish out to Abby Dunning in the circle against a hitter and Shelby Barbie, who has walked twice today. to bring her season total to 21 for the season. Don't forget, Pitt and Virginia is coming up to wrap up day one here at the ACC Championship at Palmer Park in Charlottesville, Virginia. You know it'll be a great atmosphere when the host school makes their debut. Dunning misses upstairs, and that is a trio of walks for Barbie today.
That was one of our keys of the game, making sure that Clemson controlled the free passes. That's now the 6th walk given up by Clemson pitchers. Coming into today, 50 free passes in the last 10 games. They've now eclipsed the average of those 10.
2 runs have scored on wild pitches today. Just 3 hits for North Carolina to 5 for Clemson. The winner of this game plays Duke tomorrow. So you either get the rivalry between North Carolina and Duke, or the Blue Devils, for the 4th straight game, will play against Clemson, because that's who they wrapped up the regular season against a couple weekends ago. Two-one. Now back and out of the stadium for strike 2.
The stands are starting to fill up. You can tell that the home crowd is getting ready to represent in game 4 here today, as you see a lot of Virginia fans trickling in.
Two-two, ground ball up the middle, backhand, stepped on second. It's a great play from Collins. A double play to get out of the inning.
How do you help your ball club when you feel like you're kind of stumbling through this ball game? Well, you show up with some really big D back behind your pitcher. Abby Dunning throwing a gem in this half inning. Nice little play by your second baseman, Marion Collins. Double play.
Back to the All-State ACC Softball Championship. Beautiful setting here in Charlottesville, and it's the Virginia Cavaliers, the host school, coming up next. They swept the regular season series in extraordinary fashion against Pitt, and if Pitt wants to win, they need to get on base and they need to create some havoc with their base stealers.
They definitely do. They've got a ton of stolen bases, 99 on the season. they're looking to definitely disrupt a defense. Virginia needs to control the run game, but also score early to be able to shut down Pitt.
Beautiful setting at Palmer Park. First pitch swinging here for Chanel, and Livingood off to a great start here in the 5th.
One pitch, one out. Can't get much better than that. And the defense showing up well for Livingood, getting that throw over by Shelby Barbee over there at third base.
Here's an illegal pitch on the previous play.
So with the illegal pitch called, that's going to actually negate the out and bring Chanel back to the batter's box. Typically, this happens when a pitcher steps forward off the pitcher's plate before delivering the ball to the plate. So what you're looking at is the right foot. It is stepping forward off the pitching plate, meaning that heel loses contact before the stride leg comes to the plate.
Nearly the same result. She just switched from the third baseman Barbee to the shortstop Horton.
Yeah, got another chance, but the left side of the infield showing up big for Livingood. It's just a little bit of a mini step of the right foot that got the advantage of Livingood. Kudos to our umpires to be able to see that and call that. It is a 4-umpire crew here tonight. When you hit the postseason, you get additional umpires, which allows you to get the calls right on the field more often than not, because they do not go into rotation to pick up their coverages out on the base paths.
Craig Hyde behind the plate, Roger Potts at third, Robbie Guest at second, and Tatum Stolting over at first base with Smokey Eds on video review for game 3 of 4 today. Two and 1 count for Livingood against Mac Pavesi. It was going to be a ball. Catcher Blackwell couldn't haul it in behind the plate. Ball 4 to Pavesi. After the game, stay with us for All ACC live from the ACC Softball Championship in Charlottesville, right here on ACC Network. We'll have some wrap-up coverage after every game. Hey, Taylor.
Taylor will give us a wave. You got two incredible ACC athletes. There's Alex Powers, attended at Florida State. Also Brittany McKinney on set, played at North Carolina.
Did Taylor Tannenbaum ever caught growing up? You kind of got to be a catcher to be out there right now.
You definitely do down the line. That studio shot is vulnerable. No, not a lot of netting to protect you out there.
Big swing by Cintron.
You would think that Brittany McKinney, I mean, she was a catcher. She should be able to protect that crew out there, right?
She should.
She's not even sitting in her chair right now. Left them vulnerable.
Cintron behind 0-2, similar to her at bat earlier. Reaches out and tags it out into right, but it hangs up in the air for Tarpey to run onto. Excuse me, that is Burns now out in right field. Brighton Burns. 2 outs.
Just shows you how strong Cintron is to be able to check swing that ball and get it that deep into the outfield.
Marion Collins, the last chance here in the 5th. Time's ticking on Clemson's hopes here in Charlottesville. And as we saw with Louisville, it ain't over till it's over, because the Cardinals looked down and out to an extent. So look at Clemson's offense with runners on base. Almost 300 on the season, just 2 for 11 tonight.
On situational hitting, you've always got to find a way to take advantage of runners in scoring position. And right now, Clemson has been streaky here at the end of the year. I'm always impressed with the way John Rittman coaches his ball clubs, but they dropped a game to Pitt. They dropped 2 to Duke. I mean, it's a ball club that is able to win some really important ball games. I mean, they were able to sweep Virginia in their second to last series of ACC play, got a big win at Duke on the road, but then dropped those 2 games. I mean, it's a team that I think is still trying to figure out who they are here at the end of the season.
All the more reason to want to play another game this weekend at least. Inside ball 1 to Sarah Breaux. They've had some big opportunities with some hitters they would want at the plate, and this is another one right here for Breaux. Quick visit for Living Good from Raina Blackwell, her catcher. .1-0. Breaux just underneath it.
Breaux's been swinging the bat with a ton of power this year. She is the only player on this lineup that has a multi-home run game. She started the year as the DP, but then evolved into an everyday role, everyday starter over at third base.
It's a great sign for a true freshman, too, to see her. It's just starting to click as this freshman campaign has gone on for Sarah Breaux. She has been an elite hitter over the last 15 games of the season.
Well, her first collegiate home run was a grand slam against Louisville. She's got a ton of power.
Takes inside strike 2.
And that's a good take. If you're not looking to attack the inside part of the plate, go ahead and let that one go by. You've got another strike to play with, but it brings the count to even.
Again, just underneath it. A very similar swing to one we saw at the beginning of this at-bat.
It's all about making sure that you get on plane with this pitch. Doesn't have bullet spin, but that spin doesn't necessarily give you a ton of movement. So that ball sitting flat, Breaux just underneath it.
Another 2-2 on the way from Living Good. Breaux high in the air to shallow right field. And it's the second baseman, Jennings, who makes the catch. North Carolina's pitching staff getting it done in the opening round.
ACC Softball Championship is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands.
The emotions and the atmosphere of postseason softball on full display here. Great home run celebration from North Carolina. We will see the ACC regular season champs tomorrow. Florida State taking on Georgia Tech. Jenny, not often does the 1 versus 9 seed matchup feel like it's got this much juice, but these two played just a couple weeks ago in the regular season. Florida State swept Georgia Tech, a 1-run victory and a 9-inning victory within those 3 wins. Georgia Tech was 1 out away in Game 3 from taking it from Florida State, so they're going to want this one bad.
And they showed that they are definitely swinging it with a ton of confidence right now with that run rule win in the opener.
Georgia Tech certainly did themselves some favors this morning with a convincing win over Notre Dame, but another win, and if it could come over a top 15 team in the country, and the ACC champions might just secure their spot on Sunday. I think it would certainly make them feel a little more at ease in watching the selection show.
No, it all comes down to RPI at this time of year. Yes, there are other metrics that need to be looked at, but quality wins at the end of the season definitely move the needle a little bit more for the committee, showing the way that your team is trending here as this season wraps up at conference tournaments.
Three-1 from Abby Dunning, in for strike 2. This is Reagan Jennings. Good to just see that Jennings stayed in the game earlier after getting hit by that pitch on her elbow. And it was not the one with the guard.
I was just going to say that. Not the one that's protected, but that back elbow.
Awkward chopper up the middle. Strong throw, but the speedster Jennings is aboard.
The only way you can get a slapper out is if you take an angle that is towards the infield. On that one, I understand why Kyla Chanel took the deep angle to pick the second hop. However, there is too much speed going down the line on this one to stay back and take the candy hop. You've got to be aggressive forward, take the short hop, and take the chance.
This one gets away from the catcher, Minish.
And Minish has had some hiccups back behind the plate since relieving Corey Hicks for that catcher position. She needs to block that ball in front. She looks like she's trying to trap it rather than stay underneath it.
The bunt is laid down to perfection by Raina Blackwell, and that puts Jennings just 60 feet from home.
We've seen station-to-station ball played on both sides of the field here tonight. So Corey Lyon, the third base coach for North Carolina, putting on some short game to give North Carolina just 60 feet from their next run. So with 1 out, the conversation is, are you leaving on contact? Are you seeing it through the infield, or are you seeing the ball down? As a runner on third base, you need to have a little bit more of a delayed lead, and you need to make sure that you stay in foul territory on that advancement in case there's a sharp hit ball down the line. You don't want to get hit. Not because you don't want to get hit because it'll hurt, but because if you are in fair territory and the ball hits you, you are automatically out, dead ball.
Pinch hitter from North Carolina, it's going to be Kiana Pierce, a grad student from Sacramento, California. And a 1-1 count to Pierce. Missed 2 full seasons in 2024 and 2023 before returning to the field last year. Had a great season. Ball 2 outside, but she's a great story. She's been through so much. She lost her father as a freshman, suffered a concussion in practice in the fall of 22, and then again in December. And then she was hit by a car on her moped going home from the facility in the fall of 2023 that she suffered a serious knee injury from. And finally returned last year and has been a breath of fresh air in coming back.
And And coming off the bench, we've already talked about it. It's hard to come off the bench in these tight situations and be able to execute without a big, long list of understanding what this pitcher's throwing.
Out in the left field, they're going to test it. The throw from Johnson, it's a dart again. Kylie Johnson, the mayor of the no-fly zone.
Not only can she catch the ball with authority out there and left, but she is almost like a pitcher out there in left field, throwing strikes to her catcher on a line. There is no reason you should try to advance on a shallow fly ball to Kylie Johnson.
The University of Virginia in Charlottesville. It has been a great home so far. 4-2, North Carolina leading Clemson. This, of course, on campus, and then here at Palmer Park when we were walking through, this whole facility is just magnificent. It opened in March of 2020, and it's got all the bells and whistles in here for this program.
It is absolutely stunning the way that this ballpark sits. Not only do you have a beautiful backdrop to be able to see the campus, but a lot of athletic facilities cornered right here in this part of the campus, and so much space within this building for meeting space. And what a great booth that we've been gifted for this ACC championship week.
Livingood outside ball 2. Jill Livingood, the freshman for North Carolina, has had a really nice outing in relief. Couple innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk and a strikeout. This is the first at bat for Sam Minish tonight, who entered this game for Corey Hicks. Minish to right field, didn't get it all.
Jammed up just enough to keep that ball in the ballpark. Off the bat, I thought there was a chance for it to leave, but you're right, just kept it inside on her hands enough. I think she got it more off the end of the bat than anything, so it was early enough to get there, but Livingood gets the advantage.
I'm glad you saw what I saw. I think it was the smooth swing, and it just looked like she got everything, but
I don't know what it is. Lefty swings are just so pretty. I'm always jealous when a lefty comes to the plate, and I'm like, oh, that's a beautiful swing.
Kylie Johnson at the dish. She just had the outfield assist a moment ago. 1-1 count against Livingood. Johnson trying to spark Clemson with her bat now as their chances are waning. Just 5 outs to play with for the Tigers. 2-1.
And they're staying away from Kylie Johnson intentionally. You could tell, not in that pitch, but the previous one, the shake of the head by Raina Blackwell to let her know that Livingood was delivering that to where she was asking for it, off the plate, in the river, trying to get the swing and miss.
2-2.
And with Livingood not having a change of speed pitch, doesn't really have a drop ball to go down in the zone with. As a hitter, you know that she's going to try to exploit the outside and top of the plate.
Another foul ball by Johnson. And again, this is a game that doesn't necessarily have a lot of bearing on Clemson's postseason standing, but they'd still love to come out on top.
You're right, and her defense has been extraordinary the last week, this whole season, let's be honest. The way that she's been able to play, it was at Duke that she robbed a home run through a very similar out like that. But she's got a great arm out there in left field, so when you are on third base tagging, you've got to be aware of the kind of velocity on the overhead throw that Kylie Johnson has. She's such an asset out there in left.
Ball 4, Johnson fired up after the walk.
Second walk given up by Livingood. That was one of the areas I was most concerned of when going through the pitching staff for North Carolina. Livingood giving up too many walks. Her strikeout to walk ratio just a little bit too close.
Now the dangerous Taylor Pipkins, who takes ball 1. Livingood wants to talk with her catcher, at least get a breather here with Raina Blackwell.
And the reason she needs to talk to her is because Taylor Pipkins already has a home run here tonight. That was hit off of the starter Frost. And then the last time that Jill Livingood faced Taylor Pipkins, it's a hard line drive to the first baseman, Leggett.
Taylor Pipkins had a 5-game home run streak this year. Hits this into right field, not going to have enough. Out for Burns to make the catch, 2 away.
We're seeing Jill Livingood just exploiting the outside part of the plate, pushing the ball oppo for these big righty hitters, but now she's going to have to change her game plan as she sees a lefty come to the plate.
First pitch bunt shown by Brockenbrough, but pulls back ball 1. Megan Smith-Lyon told us a couple weeks ago going into the Florida State series, we asked, what's success look like for your pitching staff right now? And she said, we have to have quality starts. We have to have our pitching staff keep us in the game early, and then when you pass the ball, it's about competing. That next person in has to keep that momentum going. This is kind of the perfect blueprint. Kendall Frost goes 3 innings. She gives up 2 runs. 1 of them was earned, and Jill Livingood has just competed. Nothing's come easy to the freshman.
No, and the way that Coach Smith-Lyon talks about her pitching staff, she says, we're not expecting shutouts. We know that runs are going to get scored. It's a matter of making sure we get ahead on hitters. And I think that's where the miscues happen, when they fall behind like she does here against Jamison Brockenbrough. Falls behind 3-0 and then has to fight her way back in this at-bat.
Strike 1 on the 3-0 count. There's another walk. Brockenbrough is on. 2 of the last 3 now have walked for Clemson.
3 walks in this outing for Jill Livingood, which pushes her total to 25 walks on the season. And with that, 25 strikeouts, 25 walks, that is not enough separation within those numbers to give me a lot of faith in the way that this season has gone for Livingood. She has done a really good job coming out of the pen, but now is she starting to lose control of the strike zone, or is she just trying to manipulate corners a little too much and missing?
Two runners on for Jill Livingood. And Addie Holub came out to talk to her. Megan Smith-Lyon knows how important this game is, knows what's on the line for North Carolina, trying to make their case to go to back-to-back postseason. She led them to their first regional appearance since 2019, a year ago. 4 outs away from buying another day here in the 2026 season. Kylie Chanel at the plate. Takes strike one. Chanel had the sac bunt back in the third. She's 0 for 2 in the game. Likely one that is going to put the ball in play. She has only struck out 10 times this season, so North Carolina will very likely have to make a play here on Chanel. Just 2 for 13 with runners on. Clemson's been in some spots tonight, Jenny, that just have not come through yet. This is hit hard to center field. Into the warning track, it's caught by Thompson. It was a good swing by Chanel, but not enough. And Jill Livengood with a masterful performance out of the bullpen for UNC.
Play brought to you by Allstate. Well, it was Shelby Barbie at the plate with bases loaded. What happened? 2 wild pitches. It would plate Sanaa Thompson and Lexi Roberts gave North Carolina the 3-0 lead in the 3rd inning, and they have held on here. They're about 6 outs away from getting a win here in day 1 at the ACC Championship.
They would love to add to their total here in this 7th inning. And it will be Lindsey Lumsden, a junior from Loganville, Georgia, at the plate for North Carolina. She watches ball 1 inside from Dunning. You see the 5 walks, 4 wild pitches, a hit batter. Really, both teams have given up the free passes. That was one of the things you talked about with Clemson that needed to be in check.
Clemson needed to make sure that they controlled the free passes coming into today. They came into this with 53 passes in the last 10 games. Here tonight, not only have the free passes hurt them, but the pass balls have as well, as Manis just really struggled to keep the ball in hittable zones, leaving it in the dirt. And that's why we saw the relief of her and Abby Dunning needing to come in.
Dunning has been good, 3 2/3, 2 hits, 1 earned, and has struck out 4. Lumsden fouls it straight back, strike 2. .280 hitter on the year. Waits on it and fights it off.
That's just great balance within Lumsden to be able to stay in her legs, even though that changeup has a really good tendency of disrupting a hitter's timing. Stayed back on that one, fouled it off.
Two low from Dunning.
Well, and Chucky, you saw it. Her top hand kind of came off the bat in that because she was reaching to make sure that she got a piece of that to stay alive in the AB.
Can she turn it over to the top of the order with a runner on? This is playable on the infield for Pavesi, and there's one out.
I think it's really important right now for this defense to show up behind Dunning. Make sure that they get back to the dugout with no more damage on the board. North Carolina has been in control of this one from the very beginning. They are 24-4 when they score first. And if this holds, they'll get their 25th win.
Sanaa Thompson hit a solo home run in her last at bat. Smokes this ball on the ground into center. Takes a hard round to first base, but it's a one-out single for Sanaa.
Yeah, Sanaa just has been finding a ton of barrel, and early in this game lined out to left, hit a hard ground ball in her second plate appearance, but she's already got that big home run that cleared the bullpen out there and left. Sanaa Thompson here at the end of the year in her junior campaign is really swinging it well, seeing it well at the plate.
Ball fouled back by Lexi Roberts, who is 0 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in the third on one of those wild pitches. Lily Parrish is up in the bullpen for North Carolina. The question is, will they go straight to her? Will they give Jill Livingood a batter or two to see if she can keep it going out of the bullpen? It would be a save situation for Parrish. 0-2 count now to Roberts.
When you look at the defense right now, you see everybody in the shot. There is no right fielder. They pull the right fielder in, playing right next to second base on the shortstop side. They are forcing Roberts to push this ball to the left side. And a lot of times when you see a shift on, it can really put a lot of pressure on the circle, because right now, if Dunning misses this inside, what will happen? Right field, wide open. These two runners will be off to the races because that ball will trickle all the way to the wall. It's kind of a deep ballpark, 210 down the line, 220 to center.
Another 0-2, just outside.
But then also as a hitter, when you see a shift put on, especially with shallow defenders on the infield, your job is to simply punch this ball through the infield, knowing that the ball's going to be on the outside part of the plate.
Up the middle, it was bobbled for a moment and safe at first. Roberts using the wheels to get aboard.
Isn't it crazy the way that wheels can absolutely change a ball game? It puts pressure on a defense, and what does that do? It takes the right fielder, Taylor Pipkins, who was playing in from the outfield, who has been an infielder in her career, comes in. Just that slight bobble gives enough time for Roberts to get down the line.
And that was hit to Pipkins there at shortstop. They will rule that an infield single for Roberts. And the most important thing tonight for North Carolina, you said, was Emily Leggett in run-producing opportunities. And here she is, first and second, with just one out.
Well, do you technically intentionally walk her again. Third base, while not occupied, is available. So by putting Leggett on, it would load the base paths. Do you do that in that situation, or does Dunning trust her stuff to try to get the home run hitter out at the plate?
She struck her out to start the 5th inning. Comes right at Leggett with strike 1.
And that's the pitch she went with. She used that screwball on the outside corner to get the swing and miss off the plate. So it's important that Dunning does not leave this ball in a hittable zone.
Leggett waiting on the off speed as much as she could.
That is a dirty pitch, and to be able to throw it to a hitter like this shows the kind of confidence that Dunning has out there in the circle to try to disrupt the timing of Leggett.
4+ for Abby Dunning. Just 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and the 1 earned run. That one gets away. And both runners advance to 2nd and 3rd.
I mean, we showed you the difference in this ballgame is the wild pitches. The 2 that made the biggest difference were in the dirt, but Dunning has actually hit the backstop multiple times in this ballgame. That rise ball continues to get away from her.
Two.
And I think you're going to see either the changeup outside or the screwball away to try to keep it out of the power zone for Leggett, especially with first base wide open now.
6 home runs in her first 2 years at Virginia Tech, then came to North Carolina and has 26 as a junior.
I think that's the piece of Leggett that has been really unique this year, is the way that she's been able to improve her numbers this season. Started her career at Virginia Tech, just 6 career home runs coming into this season, and look at that, leads the ACC in all 3 of those blue categories.
Fouls another away. Junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Oh, and she's 2nd in the ACC in average, on top of all those great power numbers.
Yeah, and who would that be to? Isa Torres, the one who had been leading the country most of the season.
This is an absolute battle between Dunning and Leggett. Will we see the off-speed again from Abby Dunning?
She's already gotten her to swing at it twice, foul that off-speed pitch off twice. I would say she goes with 2 pitches potentially in this AB. I'm guessing we see a screwball and a changeup.
Outside 3-2. Massive insurance on 2nd and 3rd for the Tar Heels. In the air, shallow left field. Johnson's there, and I don't think you're going to test that arm again this weekend. She might catch one on the warning track and you wouldn't go.
No, such great overhand velocity coming from Kylie Johnson. So she is someone that they've tested in this game and paid for it. Sanaa Thompson drew the throw with a hard leadoff, pretending to tag. But there is no way you should be tagging up on a ball shallow to Kylie Johnson in left field.
2 outs. John Rittman wants to talk to Abby Dunning. Shelby Barbie is the hitter that's due up for North Carolina, who has walked 3 times in the game.
Yeah, not recorded a plate appearance here tonight. 3 straight walks for the cleanup hitter protecting Emily Leggett.
Still seeing fans come into Palmer Park getting set for game 4 of the day between Pitt and Virginia. Where are the Cavaliers and the Panthers waiting down the left field line. Shelby Barbie with 2 in scoring position. Fouls it up and away for strike 1. Popped up on the infield, and Pavesi is under it. Clemson's final chance. It'll be the freshman, Mac Pavesi, leading things off in the bottom of the 7th, trailing by 2 runs. Lifted the trophy at the ACC Championship for the first time in their program's history, knocking off the 1 seed Florida State. Here we are in 2026, John Rittman's team with their back against the wall in the bottom of the 7th against a North Carolina team that very well may be playing for their postseason lives right now.
Coach Rittman knew that this would be a year that looked very different, with a ton of new faces in the lineup coming after that graduation class of 10 athletes that were just pillars to this Clemson program. A lot of experience leaving, and now a lot of new faces and youth trying to fill those big shoes.
First pitch ball from Jill Livingood. It's freshman on freshman here for North Carolina and Clemson. Pavesi trying to provide the spark in the 7th. 3-4-5 here for Clemson. They are a combined 1 for 6 with 2 walks tonight. There is strike 1 on the inside corner.
And they're at the heart of their lineup that can really score runs. But tonight, 3, 4, and 5 hitters are just 1 for 6.
(2-1). Jill Livingood, in 3 innings of work out of the bullpen, is not allowed a hit. Strike 2 from Livingood.
Really nice receive by Raina Blackwell back there behind the dish, holding that spot, giving a good look to the home plate umpire, Craig Hyde, to be able to use that outside corner to her advantage.
Pavesi into left center, it gets down, cut off by Sanat Thompson, just in time to keep Pavesi at first.
That play was completely altered by the way Sanat Thompson was able to chase it down so quickly. That ball had a lot of tail on it, taking it away from Thompson because it was coming off a lefty bat going oppo. And with that spin, Sanat Thompson took a pretty steep angle to that to try to cut it off. Had to adjust that route, kept it away from going to the wall. Great play by Thompson to keep Pavesi off second base.
Now Macy Cintron. That was a big time cut from Cintron for strike 1.
with a runner on, a home run now ties up this ball game. And North Carolina has been in control all day, just underneath it.
Ball one outside. 4 of Cintron's 7 home runs have come in the last 10 games of the regular season. She set the tone in that win over Duke with a 2-run shot in the first inning. Goes after that pitch from Livingood, 1-2.
In her sophomore season, Cintron can sometimes be a little impatient at the plate, and with that took a healthy cut, but it looked like she was expecting it to be inside rather than away.
1-2 from the freshman. Cintron into right, but stays in the air for Burns to make the play.
Very similar cut to what she had in her last plate appearance. A ball away, kind of just through the barrel at it to get a flare out there to right field, and Brighton Burns came away with a really nice catch.
One away for Marion Collins. Ball 1. This might go right at the top of the resume for Jill Livingood in her freshman season if she can close this out. Slow roller right side, knocked down. Collins jetting down the line. But the base tagged by Leggett, and North Carolina is 1 out away.
Well, that tall frame paid off for Emily Leggett in that situation, because not only did she knock it down, and the ball got away from her enough to be able to make that a pretty close play, but look at that nice little slide in to tag the bag and still get the out.
Here is Sarah Breaux, Clemson's last chance. Strike 1, catches the bottom of the zone. She's got game-changing power. 8 home runs on the season for Breaux. Strike 2, Jill Livingood a strike away from keeping North Carolina alive. Deep breath from the freshman.
Smart spot to take that ball off the plate. Trying to get Sarah Breaux into her emotions, get a swing well out of the hittable zone.
Fouled straight back by Breaux.
It's in these moments as a hitter, knowing that the game is on the line, that you can't try to do too much, because when you get all spun up and allow your heart rate to get away from you, that's when you swing outside of the zone. Right now, Sarah Breaux in her freshman season has a chance right now to tie things up with a big hit.
Ground ball, this could do it. The throw to first is in time. North Carolina knocks off Clemson in round 1. Second straight quarterfinal appearance for the Tar Heels. You can see the emotion from the freshman Livingood.
Coming into this ball game, we talked about how North Carolina needed a win over Clemson to be able to bolster their RPI and give the committee something to look at, showing the way that they were trending at the end of the season to try to get themselves into postseason opportunities. Well, that win right there, statement win as they move on to face Duke tomorrow in the quarters.
We got a rivalry matchup between Duke and North Carolina. Still one more to be played tonight. Virginia and Pitt coming up here on the ACC Network for a chance to play Virginia Tech. Frustration for Clemson, who was 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. It was a gem out of the bullpen from Jill Livingood as North Carolina keeps their season alive. All ACC, followed by more from the All-State ACC Softball Championship coming up with Taylor, Brittany, and Alex.